In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to cut this stylish halter neck backless cowl neck dress with ruche at the back. So this dress is from Shop Just Locks on Instagram. So to start, here is my pattern paper, and I've gone ahead to mark out the basic measurement, which includes the shoulder to bust, under bust, waist. Then I marked 7 inches to get the hip of this dress. So if you're a much taller person, please go ahead to use 8 inches. Now I'll be using the total length of this pattern paper as the length of this dress. So first, I'm going to start by marking my shoulder divided by 2. Come down by 1 inch, and from this point, I'll just go ahead to mark a basic neckline of 3 inches, which will serve as a guide for this pattern. I'll also come down by 3 inches, which is a basic neckline of 3 by 3 inches, and I'll go ahead to connect. After I'm done connecting, I'm going to find the chest line, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Place my ruler and I will draw a straight line. So after marking this, I'll go ahead to mark back what I have at the shoulder on the chest line of this pattern. Now I'll place my ruler and I'll connect this all the way up. After connecting, I'm going to divide my chest line into 2 equal parts and come out by half. Here, I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4 on the chest line. Connect to the upper part, and from the midpoint, I'll connect to my bust circumference divided by 4. Here, I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4 and just add ½ inch for sewing allowance here, and then also mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, mark ½ inch for sewing allowance. Mark the waist circumference divided by 4, add ½ inch for sewing allowance. Here, I'll mark the hip circumference divided by 4, and I'll be adding ½ inch for the sewing allowance. So for this dress, you don't really need much sewing allowance for it. Whatever you have here, deduct like 2 inches or 1.5. And you're going to mark this at the lower part depending on how fitted you want the dress to be at the lower part. Now I'll place my ruler and I'll be connecting this from the bust to the under bust and from the waist to the hip point, and from that point I'm going to connect this all the way to the lower part of my pattern. So this is what I have here. From the neckline, I'll go ahead to start connecting this to the lower part of the bust. I'll go down a bit, creating like an halter neck towards this side, right? From there, I'll pick a point and I'll start connecting this all the way to the lower part. I'm going to come up by 1.5 and connect to this point. So this is what I have for my pattern here. Now you notice at the side of this dress, you have this little curve. So from here, I'll come down by 4 inches and I'll mark out my line. So this is now the neckline of this dress. You're going to make a strap, attach here and at the lower bust area. Now I'll cut this off. So after cutting this, I'll be altering this pattern and I will also use the same pattern to cut that of the back pattern of this dress. But first of all, place and transfer all your measurement first. So now I brought another pattern paper, and from the bust area, I'll cut it connecting to the chest line because we have a slight cowl neck effect there. I'll open this up, right? And I'll go ahead to hold this down, right, before going ahead to trace it out. So also at the side of this pattern, I'm going to create like a slash because you notice at the side, I have like little pleats there. So I'll just go ahead to open it up a bit this way to create just a slight fold towards that side. So what you should have should not be that much. I'll take my ruler and I'll place. Now I'll lift this up a bit. I just want to have something that is slightly straight here, and I will be connecting this to the other end of the pattern. Now I'll just blend this in and connect it. I'll just fold up here and blend it in so that I don't have a pointy edge there. So whatever opening you have, just measure it. What I have is not that much, right? It is not that much from that line. It's something that you can easily pleat to give you that slight ruche there. It shouldn't be like more than 2 to 4 inches. So I'll just straighten up this part here and I'll be connecting it to the neckline of this dress. and I'll go ahead to cut this out. After cutting this out, I'm done drafting the front pattern. You will now go ahead to attach your strap here and also at the upper part and create slight splits there to give it that little ruche. Now let's say we are cutting for the back. After placing and tracing your measurement, you notice I went up by 1.5 from the waistline, right? So I'll come down a bit, like 1 inch or 2 inches from the actual waistline, and I'll go ahead to cut this out. Now what you do is add an elastic to give you that ruche at the back of the dress.